Story 1. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend to shut up after she insulted my sister's thighs? I'm 30, and my 12-year-old sister is living with me right now because mom and pops are vulnerable, so it made more sense for me to care for my sis for the time being. She's a really great kid, and to be honest, I feel in a lot of ways like she's my own kid because my mom and dad don't speak English, so I kinda had to raise my sis in ways that they couldn't. Hard to explain, but I'm sure anyone with a secondary culture will get what I mean. My mom and dad are great parents, but having an English-speaking person to guide you through crap when you live in an English-speaking country is invaluable in my opinion, and my sister trusts me with stuff she won't necessarily trust my parents with. Anyway, my girlfriend was FaceTiming me and my sister walked past in shorts and a t-shirt cause it's hot. My sister girlfriend waited till my sister had left the area, but not the room, and made a face and said, "Maybe feed her less, OP, her thighs are kinda chunky." I saw red and told her to shut the F up, just came out of my mouth, and immediately ended the call. My sister is a bit chubby, but for F's sake, who says stuff like that about a 12-year-old girl? Literally, everybody I know has been texting me that I'm a piece of crap boyfriend and that how can I disrespect my girlfriend like that? I am expecting an apology from her, but to my shock, everybody is expecting me to apologize. So, am I the a-hole? While I think that maybe the way you told her not to say that might have been a little bit on the harsh side, and I could see at the very least maybe going, "Hey, sorry I said that so harshly, but..." And then you get to follow it up with, she's a 12-year-old kid. Her body is changing. She's going through stuff. She's growing. You don't criticize her. And she's at an age, if she heard you, that could have, effects on her. Like, who knows how much she might look up to this girlfriend and value her opinion, and hearing something like that could be heartbreaking. It's a 12-year-old kid. I've known plenty of kids who they were stick thin when they were 12 and grew up to be bigger, and kids who were bigger at that age who grew up to be skinny. They're growing, they're changing. You don't say that about 12-year-olds. So your girlfriend was absolutely in the wrong to say that, and it was a really rude, cruel thing to say. So she does owe you an apology. At the very most, like I said, you can maybe say, "I'm sorry that I was, so terse and cut you off immediately. But I still don't think it makes you an a-hole. I don't, because you were in the right to call her out for that crap. That wasn't okay." Story 2. My parents cut my beard when I was sleeping. My parents had a strict clean shave policy when I was growing up, but now I am an adult and now live on my own. I'd grown a kind of long French beard during the COVID lockdown and was visiting my family once the travel restrictions were relaxed. My parents are hardcore Islamophobes, and they were horrified seeing my Muslim beard, and they asked me to shave it because people might think I had converted to Islam and it's going to tarnish my family's reputation. I basically told them to F off and mind about their pubes rather than my beard. Today I was sleeping on the couch and my mom cut my beard off, and now it's an ugly mess and I have no option but to shave it off, and I can't effing leave this place as I'm under 14-day home quarantine as I traveled from another state, and I feel they have won for now. Wow! Like, what a ridiculous thing to do. I know that your parents are doing it from like a place of concern because they don't want you to they don't want people to be afraid of you and possibly harm you. So we have to think, yes, this is coming from a place of concern. They're like, people are going to think that you're a terrorist or something. That's what it kind of sounds like they're thinking. And okay, have that concern, parents, but this is an adult person. They still get to make their choices. And honestly, I'm speaking honestly here. If I was that person, my trust in you would be reduced so much that I would want to see you less. The fact that you chose to alter my body, even a beard, something that's going to grow back, that is such an invasion. And it shows that you're not even listening to my concerns or my wants and desires. Like, that would harm our relationship in a fairly permanent way. So folks, if you're out there, if you're a parent thinking of doing something like this because you're concerned for your kid, really think of the ramifications, because it might seem minor and that it can just grow back, but this really does bring about this really uncomfortable issue of invasion and privacy that could have lasting consequences to your relationship with a kid. Story 3. I want my son to ride the limousine. Sure, if he has a coffin to be in. So, sorry for any grammatical errors, but I am Italian and I do not know English very well. Also, sorry if this is not an incredibly long or exciting story, but I thought it would be funny to read. This happened a couple of weeks ago. It was the day of my grandmother's funeral. She died in a hospital and I was outside talking to the owner of the funeral company. This dude was also my godfather and I had a very good relationship with him. It might sound weird that my godfather is the owner of a funeral company, but to me it's not. He's known me since I was a baby and he treated me like I was his son. Also, to me, his job is just like any other job, and it even has its benefits. Anyway, here we go. I was and still am 17. This story's cast is EM, entitled Mother, GF, my godfather, not girlfriend, EK, entitled Kid, even though he doesn't play a huge role in the story, me, yours truly. We were just outside the hospital talking to each other. Parked in front of us were all the company vehicles, including the one you're thinking about. All of a sudden, Entitled Mother approaches us. Entitled Mother, hello? Me, hello? Entitled Mom had her kid just next to her and he was holding a drink. I was wondering if my son could take a ride on the limousine. She then pointed her finger to the hearse. I think it's called that in English. It took me a while to respond for 2 reasons. The first one was because that day I had so many thoughts going through my head and a stranger coming to me out of nowhere caught me by surprise. I'm a very introverted person and I find it difficult to talk to people. I don't know. The second reason was because I was holding my laugh. She legitimately thought that the hearse was a limousine. Me, I'm sorry to say this, but that's not... Are you going to say no to a little child? At this point, I don't know what to say. Miss, believe me, you don't want your son to go into that thing. Oh, why are you so stingy? Even if he spills his drink in the limousine, it won't be a problem. You have enough money to buy a limousine, so you'll surely have enough to clean it. This is when my godfather gets in. Godfather, excuse me, miss, what do you want to do? I want my son to ride the limousine. My godfather then said the most epic thing I've ever heard. Godfather, thanks for a bit. Well, sure, he can ride the limousine, but only if he has a coffin to be in. Entitled Mother is a bit confused about the response. She takes a good second look at the limousine and then she realizes, I have no idea how she confused a hearse for a limousine. Perhaps the company logo was out of her view or something. However, when she realized the mistake, her skin got pale and she just walked away as fast as she could with her kid. Me and my godfather just looked at each other and start laughing. I mean... This is just a fun, kind of charming story, but also, how did she not take more of a moment to look? How did she not read the situation, folks? Read the situation a bit. I know a hearse, it's a longer car, they're black and kind of sleek looking. They kind of look like a weird limousine. They look like a limousine hatchback or something. I don't know. But seriously, it shouldn't be that hard to realize. And even if it was a limousine, why are you going up to people like, give my son a ride in the limousine? It doesn't matter if he spills. What? Yes, it does. What if these people don't even own the limousine? What if you're just talking to limousine drivers who are like a rental company? They can't afford to be cleaning up your kid's goobery spills and stuff like that. Why? I guess if it was a limousine and if you could, it would have been a nice gesture for a kid. I don't know, maybe take him for a ride. Just pop him in a coffin, be like, hop in, Johnny. We're going for a ride to the graveyard. Goodbye. Story 4, entitled Mommy, Don't Buy Chocolates. It's Upsetting My Kid. This happened about an hour ago. I was grocery shopping and decided to pick up a few bars of chocolates. That's when I heard the ear-piercing scream of what can only be an entitled kid. He looked like he was somewhere between 5 and 6 years of age. He began to violently pull on his mother's arm, pointing at my chocolate bars and yelling at her to buy him some. Entitled Mom, did you have to pick that up in front of him? Me, what? Entitled mom, can't you see it's upsetting my child? Well, that's your problem. Entitled mom, in between trying to get her demon spawn to act like a human being, you need to put them back. My son only started demanding chocolates when he saw you take them. Just put them back. Now, you can get some later. You shouldn't make kids jealous. I just smiled at her and approached the chocolate shelves, but instead of putting them back, I actually took a few more. It earned me a death glare from Entitled Mom and earned Entitled Mom another round of tantrums from the entitled kid. Petty? Yes. Satisfying? Hell yes. Can't you see that I have a child and it's your job to do everything to help me raise this child in my terrible way? Would you expect me to teach my child that they don't get everything that they want and that's a good lesson for them to learn from the get-go? And as a parent, it's my responsibility to deal with this stuff and not the responsibility of everyone around me? I shouldn't expect the world to bend to my every whim and need? Yeah, probably not. Holy cow. I guess everyone... Now, from now on, when you're shopping, going around, be sure to look around for kids and stuff like that. And, if there is a kid around, talk to the mom, be like, is it okay if I buy this box of white cheddar Cheez-Its? I really want them, but if it's a problem for your kid, I'll do a couple laps around the store, come back for them later. This is the most ridiculous thing. Do people not think about this stuff before they talk? I can't. It's a public, it's a store. You're supposed to buy stuff. Why, people? Why are you like this sometimes? Not you folks who are watching this. I know you're all great and I adore you so much. I'm so glad that you're not like this, because if you were like this, ooh, yeah. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.